I heard Catherine only listens to Josh Groban, so now I only listen to Josh Groban.
Catherine recommended The Hobbit, so I added The Hobbit to my TBR.
I saw that Catherine always reads at the beach, so now I play ocean waves while I read.
One time, Catherine made a theater kid reading blog. It was awesome.
Hello, good morning, or good evening, whenever you are watching this. I hope you are doing well. My name is Catherine, and welcome to a Theater Kid reading vlog. So I am so excited to finally be posting this video. This is a collab that I've been working on with the Roomies Digest, Christine and Mo, Camila from Burrows and Books, and Nahomey from Nahomey's Library. Basically, each of us are reading like a different kind of high school stereotype, and naturally, I am the theater kid. If you've been around my channel for a little while, you may know that I, yes indeed, am a former theater kid, or like a professional theater kid, I guess now. I am an actor first and foremost, on top of a reader. So when I was asked to join this group, I of course had to read like the theater kid that I am. Today I am dressed, I call it Newsies meets Eponine. Yeah, in this vlog I will be focusing on two books, the first being Station 11 by Emily St. John Michael. This book follows an actor who, after there's like a pandemic that hits, yikes, she becomes part of this like traveling theater slash musician group that goes to different encampments. Because, you know, pandemic, and it's like a post-apocalyptic type deal. That's kind of all I know. I do, like, the main thing I know is that the main character is an actor, and I believe a Shakespearean actor. The second book that I will be reading is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. This one is a murder mystery following Oliver Marks, who was murdered, I guess, and it follows him in his fourth year at a Shakespearean conservatory program. Both of these books are kind of more Shakespeare-y for sure, but I am very excited to dive into them, read something that is like theater based without being like specifically theater based. And of course, after you finish this video, stay and watch this video though, please watch my video. After you finish this video though, I will be linking everyone who I am collabing with down below, so be sure to check out their videos. It's been a lot of fun putting all of these together. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hello, good morning. So I have started in on If We Were Villains, and I am absolutely loving it. I wasn't too sure what to expect from this book going into it. I'm not really a thriller reader, but anything involving like theater and Shakespeare, things like that, I'm like always down to try. And oh, it's so good. So what this book is about, it starts out where basically this guy has been in jail for 10 years for the murder of his classmate, I believe, except no one is really sure what happened. And so he's like about to be released finally, and the detective who was on his case comes in. He's like retired now, and he's like, I need to know what happened. And so then we go back in time. It's a bit of a dual timeline. It goes back in time, and it's showing us the events leading up to this murder. It all takes place at this like Shakespeare conservatory program. So our main character is in his fourth year in the program, and wow, it's very evident that the author was an actor and went through a like theater program of some sort. I like looked it up, and she did, because she captured the experience to a T so far, just in terms of like, it starts out before the first day of term and like auditions for the main stage show, and just the like everyone in the dorm kind of muttering to themselves, trying to remember their monologue. Because they're in their fourth year, everyone kind of has been typed out, and they all are like, okay, well, we know who everyone's getting cast as because that's what we get cast as every year. First day of classes where they're expected to be like vulnerable and talk about all their traumas at like 8 a.m. Like, I'm having war flashbacks, man. So far, it's very good. The vibes of it, the different like relationships between the characters are very just strong and intriguing, and I'm I'm very excited. So I'm only about like 10% of the way through right now, but I will check in when I am at the 50% point. Hi everyone, good morning. So last night I did manage to get about 50% of the way, and I am loving this story. I'm first of all just loving the format that it's written in. It's like separated into acts and scenes, which is just really fun and like a really cool detail. And some of the dialogue is written like script dialogue, which is a lot of just really cool. We have gotten to the part where we know who got murdered, because we start out and we like don't know who it is. There's like some suspicions. Like I kind of figured who it was, but like we didn't know for sure. So we now know who got murdered. We don't know, of course, who did it or like what exactly happened. I have some predictions of what happened. It's funny because this isn't typically the type of book that I like to read. I don't like thrillers. But I think with the like backdrop of it being around theater and things like that, I'm just really enjoying it a lot more. Today, I am actually going to be doing a little Broadway-inspired makeup look. So I'm going to be doing a makeup look based on that of Anne Boleyn from Six, the musical, which is one of my favorite musicals. So I have like some green eyeshadow, glittery eyeshadow that I'm going to be putting on. Hopefully it comes out looking decent. I'm not like a makeup artist, and I also, I'm gonna make it a little more natural. It's not gonna look like a Broadway. Like it's not gonna look like stage makeup. It probably will look a little bit more, maybe not everyday wear because there's green glitter, but slightly more everyday wear, just a little. Let's try this and see what happens. Okay, so this is the look. I think it actually came out really cute. So I'm going to continue listening to If We Were Villains. I might go and get coffee because I did not just put all this on my face for absolutely no one to see it, except for the internet, I guess. And I will update you when I finish the book, I guess, or if there's anything exciting to talk about.
Hi. So I'm like at Barnes & Noble right now because I ended up being in the area. So I figured I'd like walk through and see if I can like point out any other like theater related books to recommend to you guys. So let's go on a little bookstore adventure.
Drama and poetry section. Shakespeare. Oop. So meta. Based on a play. Based on Romeo and Juliet.
So yesterday I didn't get too much reading done because I spent most of the day at Disneyland, which was very exciting because I haven't been there in like over a year. And it was very nice to be back and just yell at my friends. I had a great time. I did manage to finish, however, If We Were Villains by ML Rio. So I was completely blown away by this book. First of all, I don't tend to read mystery thrillers. I get very easily spooked out. I get very easily just I like some suspense, but I don't like a ton of suspense. However, this is the type of book where it's not as much a whodunit, because I feel like it's pretty obvious what happens by the halfway point. It's a lot more of the piecing things together as to why certain things happen the way that they did, which was really cool. I love the use of Shakespeare, both in just the characters, their speech. They definitely had this sort of pigeon Shakespearean language that they would use, where they would be having a conversation, and then of course they would just casually quote him, which was just a lot of fun to see. And I feel like a lot of it was very true to just the theater school experience. So much of it was just all about how immersed you get in the world and how easily it is to get caught up in everything, and how it becomes kind of your everything, not always in the most healthy way too. So I just thought that there was some really great commentary in that way. I thought that the characters were all really interesting and complex. I loved our main character Oliver. I loved seeing his relationship to his best friend James, as well as the other people in the story. I just thought it was a ton of fun reading about these characters who just feel everything so intensely. And it leaves you off on kind of this ambiguous ending, which I really enjoy ambiguous endings, because then it lets my mind go oh my god, so what happened? And I start to think about what I think would have happened, which is just a lot of fun. I did also manage to get 5 chapters. Oh, I read a lot more than I thought. I did manage to get 5 chapters into Station 11, my second book for this vlog. So this story starts out during a production of King Lear, where the main actor collapses. He has a heart attack on stage. As of right now, we have this one character who is a paramedic in training. He jumped up on stage to try and save the guy. He didn't, but also he's starting to hear things from his friend that there's some sort of flu epidemic that is not looking good, and his friend is get out of the city, things are not looking good right now. So in that regard, part of me is why did I decide to pick this up? Because it just sounds too real. It sounds too much like March 2020, and I don't know how I'm gonna vibe with that. We are definitely still at the very beginning. I think our main character, Kirsten, something like that. We meet her at the beginning of the story when she is a child. She's 7 years old, and she's a child actor in the production of King Lear. So I'm interested to see, because I'm pretty sure there is going to be a time jump just from the description to when she is an adult. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen in terms of that. So I'll keep reading, and I will check in at the 50% mark. Hi, so last night I did manage to reach the 50% mark of Station 11, and it's an interesting time. So I knew that this was a post-pandemic, very dystopian, post-apocalyptic type book. So I knew what I was getting into, but also I didn't know that too many things would resonate. And considering this book was written, let's see here, 2014. This book was written in 2014. So the fact that there's so many things that are just very accurate to 2020, 2021. I'm glad that I'm reading this now and not a year ago, because at least right now I can kind of see the light in the tunnel, and things are gonna be okay, and we're getting vaccinated. But whew, wow. As far as the theater things go, I am really enjoying this sort of theater / symphony troupe that's traveling around from encampment to encampment, town to town. I think that that's a really cool concept. I love that there's this dynamic within the group where it's not everyone gets along for like really petty reasons a lot of the time, like this person talks too loudly, things like that. And I feel like that is so accurate when you're like with a group of people for a long amount of time. I am sure that like if you go on a theater tour, things like that happen. There's been like a couple points in here I never highlight in my book, but I just found some of these quotes that were like really, I don't know, I feel like very accurate towards the like theater experience. There's this one quote that's like a theme throughout the book that's from Star Trek, and it's because survival is insufficient, and it's kind of talking about like why they like are doing these performances. Why are they even bothering? Why aren't they just settling down in a town? And it's because survival isn't the only point. Like art is important, and they can find meaning in that. And there's like just a couple other moments like that where it just kind of talks about the fact that like, okay, yeah, we can just, you know, settle down somewhere and just try to survive, but what would be the point? And I think that that's like something a lot of artists feel, where it's like, okay, sure, I can go do a job that will make me a good amount of money and I'll be able to have like a very comfortable home and a comfortable life, but like, what's the point? I want to create, I want to do things. And yeah, I think it really captures that essence in there. Also, there's a lot of different storylines kind of woven throughout this book. We're following quite a few different timelines, so it is a little bit of a struggle to keep up like where we are and like who we're following, but there's certain things that I'm already seeing where it's like, ooh, okay, so this made an appearance here, now it's making an appearance here. I wonder how those two things are related. So yeah, I'm excited to see where we end up. I'm nervous. There's already some like cult activity as well. It's a good time. It's interesting. I'm liking it though. I will check in with y'all when I finish this book. I'm gonna be finishing it today, so here we go. Hi, wow, I'm so bad at remembering to vlog. So 2 nights ago, I finished Station 11. I really enjoyed it. So I will say this wasn't as theater heavy as If We Were Villains, for sure. There were definitely some like things interspersed in terms of like Shakespeare, as well as like kind of like Hollywood culture, which I thought was really interesting. It also, listen, I knew going into this that it was about a pandemic. I didn't think it would be so accurate. Emily St. John Mandel, I have so many questions because this was written in 2014 and there were some lines that were scary accurate to like just things that we as a whole, like people have been saying for the past year. Just things like at the very beginning of the pandemic, people being like, can't wait to go to a restaurant and laugh about all this when it's over. People like not knowing if people are alive, not being able to like go to funerals and things like that. Ugh, it was a lot. It was very emotional at some points. The theater portions of this book I really enjoyed. The one thing that I really loved about this book is its overall commentary on the arts, both like the theater and the symphony portion, as well as our like kind of main character. There's like 3 or 4 main characters, but our like main character, main story plotline, Kirsten. She has like this comic book that she was given as a child, and it's like something that like kind of gives her a lot of hope throughout the 20 years of this pandemic. And so I really liked that commentary about like how theater and the arts and overall creativity gives us a lot of hope. I think it is something that we have seen so much this past year, where we aren't able to go outside, but we are still able to enjoy like Zoom theater performances or places like the National Theater showing archived footage. Things like that have given us hope and given us ways to like continue going on. One of the main themes of this book is that quote from Star Trek of because survival is insufficient, where it's not just about surviving but also thriving, and the arts give us that like means of not just surviving, but like making meaning of all of this, which I really loved. And I think it's a very important thing to talk about, especially right now, as there's a lot of conversation in the like theater community, especially where places like Equity, unfortunately, the theater union, have been like demanding that actors pay their dues. We've been out of a job for over a year at this point. The way that performers and artists are so easily brushed aside and taken advantage of because people just don't take it seriously is a huge problem. So that was my little PSA to please support creatives, please support theaters, please support artists of all kinds. Pay your artist friends, don't ask for free labor. That's the message. So there we go. That is my little theater kid reading vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this maybe encouraged you to pick up some books involving theater. They don't just have to be plays, although there are some like really great plays out there that I highly recommend reading. I will link some resources down below because there's been some like really great TikTokers talking about different plays and especially contemporaries to read and support. Also, if you have not already, I highly encourage you to check out my collab peeps with this video. In case you forgot, this is a collab with 4 other incredible booktubers. You got the Roomies Digest, Mo and Christine, we've got Nahomey, and we've got, of course, Cami. They have some really fun clique themed vlogs as well, so be sure to check them out. I have had so much fun collabing with the 4 of them. It's been a great time. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and until next time, bye! Nahomey from